Amazing gold his eyes, but my heart still beats. When I say no, it's yes. I'm putting you to the test. Can you handle me? Do you have the key? Sorry that I've been playing games. Do you really have what it takes? I guess so.
Hello everyone, I'm Amelia, and today I'm going to give you a few little ways that you can enjoy spending some time and bonding with your horse. And I think that there's definitely a balance of, everything. We love our horses and we want to enjoy our horses, and that's really an important part of having horses and riding and all of that. However, it's also really important that when you think about bonding with your horse, that you're always clear that you're still in charge and that you're still the boss. I think that the big difference between like your horse versus your dog is that horses are big and horses can hurt you. So it's really important that while you're bonding with them, while you're enjoying time with them, that you're still having direction in that time and that you're still clearly in charge. So give this video a thumbs up if you're excited to learn a few ways that you can enjoy spending some time with your horse. This is Kensington. He's my 7-year-old, and he's a very special horse. So be sure to also check out in the description box and join us on Patreon. Patreon is a way to help support these free videos that we make for you guys. And we also have a lot of behind the scenes footage there. So be sure to check that out. So probably my favorite way to spend time with my horses is just grooming them and kind of currying them and really figuring out where they enjoy being brushed. But it's also really important that while you're doing this, that your horse is like respectful of you and that your horse is not coming into your space. So I'm going to ask him to move over. And again, like right there, that was just a moment where I took charge. I asked him to move over. And now I'm going to take my curry and kind of just start currying him. A lot of horses, I would say one of the most favorite places that horses like being curried is right up here on the withers, because this is like, if when horses groom each other in the field, they always groom each other like right here on the withers. And you can see how Kensington with his mouth is kind of like chewing as if he were grooming another horse. So he's kind of like, if he had another horse to groom, he would really be grooming the other horse. But you can just really watch your horse's expression and figure out where they like to be groomed, where they don't like to be groomed. You can tell by what he's doing with his mouth that he like really enjoys this. So I can, go a little deeper here. And another place that horses a lot of times like to be groomed is kind of up here in their shoulders and underneath between their front legs. So just kind of take some time and really curry your horse. It's also really good for their muscles and for their circulation if you take this time to get the blood flowing. You can also notice, like, see if I can get a place where he's a little sore. And there, like, I don't want him to look away from me. I want him to stay always looking a little towards me. So you could see right here, he's a little sore. So this muscle here in his low back, stay looking towards me. You could see him kind of arch away, like that area is a little bit sore for him. So I might just back off the pressure a little bit there, but still kind of think about getting the circulation and getting him a little bit loosened up in that area. Good boy. Good boy. So this is just a great way to feel your horse's muscles, give them a nice little massage, figure out what they enjoy. It's really important though, when you're doing this, don't allow your horse to come into your space. So I'm going to go into his space and give him a nice rub down, but he's not allowed to step towards me, because you don't want your horse to think that they're ever allowed to push into you or to come into that pressure. Because what could happen is if they start doing that, they could step on you, they could hurt you, and then if something were ever to scare them, they're just going to come running right on top of you. So that's the first way that you can enjoy spending a little quality time with your horse, is just figuring out where they like to be curried, where they like to be brushed. The second thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a little hand walk just kind of around the property. And again, I'm going to show you some tips that I use when I'm hand walking my horse to make it enjoyable, but also to stay safe. So hopefully our camera person can follow us around. So when I'm leading my horse, I kind of like to be in between my horse's shoulder and my horse's head. So I would say like this is the ideal place to be leading your horse. But again, I want to have a little bit of a healthy distance between my horse and I. Because if you're like right here and your horse is shoving into you all the time, then to me that's disrespectful. So when I'm leading, my goal is to stay between the shoulder and the head. If he's not leading with me, I can always use the tail of my rope to kind of send him a little forward. And ideally, like you can see here how there's a little bit of slack in my lead line. He's not pulling on me. So this is what I would say is like a respectful and healthy distance for when I'm leading my horse around the property. And I'm just kind of always sensing his energy. Another really good thing to do when you're leading your horse is to practice halting. So halting, getting your horse to kind of put their head down and pay attention to you. So again, I'm going to walk forward, ask him to come with me, and then I'm going to test if I stop, he should stop. If I back up, he should back up. If I walk forward, he should walk forward. So that's really important, is that your horse has to be paying attention to you, and that when you stop, they stop. When you back up, they back up. This is really important so that when you're hand walking, that your horse isn't like dragging you around and isn't looking for things to spook at. Another thing that I really enjoy doing with my horses is letting them have some grass. So there's some nice grass over here. When you're hand grazing, a couple of things. One is that notice how I let him go to the grass. He didn't drag me to the grass. And that's really important. Again, it's a sign of respect that you should never allow your horse to just drag you over there. You should always, they should be waiting for you to allow it. And when you're hand grazing, again, even though you're bonding, even though you're enjoying the time with your horse, you have to be really aware of a couple of things. The biggest thing is that the horse doesn't stand on the lead rope accidentally, because if they step on the lead rope and then pull their head up, it can really scare them. So you always want to just kind of keep the lead rope a little up. Like you don't want to let the lead rope just be like dangling on the ground in front of your horse's foot, because then they might step on it. So you always want to just have, like, not be pulling on your horse, but just kind of keep the slack out of the lead rope. And then the other thing is that even though he's grazing, I'm still really aware of him and making sure that he doesn't jump on top of me, because I've had horses where they're grazing and then something will scare them and they'll kind of like come and jump on top of you. So if you see like something scary over there that might scare your horse, then you might want to ask them to pick their head up, ask them to back away from you before they get afraid, but don't allow them to come on top of you. You're a good boy. And you can, sometimes when I'm hand grazing, I'll give him some little scratches, brush out his mane a little. I think that horses, of course, they enjoy getting to have a little bit of grass, and it's just a really nice time to spend with your horse. But again, it's important that they do it respectfully. So I'm going to practice, like, I've let him graze here a little bit. It's really important that when I decide, like, okay, we're done, that he listens to that. So what I'm going to do when I decide that we're done, I'm going to get my lead rope organized. I'm going to kind of bump up on the lead rope, get him to pick his head up, and then say, come on, we're done with the grass. Walk away. Good boy. Good boy. And then I might just go back to, leading him around the property, making sure stop, back up, walk forward. Good boy. Stop, back up, walk forward. Another thing you can do when you're leading your horse around is kind of ask them to put their head a little bit down. The thing that's really important to remember is that you're always training your horse. So even when you're just enjoying spending time, kind of bonding with your horse, you always really want to be aware of their energy, aware of their focus, and make sure that they are paying attention to you and respectful of you so that you can really enjoy the time that you have with your horse. Like here I might say, come on, walk a little more forward, have a little more activity, stop, back up, walk forward again. Good boy. And then of course remember to reward. Now don't look away, stay looking towards me. Good boy. Good boy. So let me know in the comments what you do to bond with your horse, enjoy spending time with your horse. These are kind of some of my favorite things that I do with my horses. And again, I think the most important thing, hey, back up, is that anytime, like even here when I'm talking to you guys, anytime when you're spending time with your horse, you're always training your horse. And it's really important that they know that you're in charge and that they are super respectful of your space and your requests, because we love our horses, but they're also big animals and they can hurt us. So it's really important that we have clear boundaries and that we are always enforcing those boundaries and clear about those boundaries so that we can have really a good relationship with our horses. And you know, if you're worried about like, oh, I don't want to be too hard on my horse because then they won't like me, that logic doesn't really make sense, because horses enjoy having clear boundaries. They like knowing who's in charge, and if they think they're in charge, it's not going to go well. So you're the one in charge. You make the clear boundaries, and then you love on your horse and you enjoy your horse in between. I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.